to do too many things at one time, sister. Hey,
Well, what happened? Hey, sister, how are you?
I was trying to share it on my Facebook page there, and then I got the sound and the Anyway, welcome. It's Sunday, so that means it's time for hey, sister. What's up?
Well, I'm trying to see what this camera is gonna do.
Yeah, I don't like that camera.
Oh, it was fine. I mean, to the dear folks at Logitech, if you have an update for this camera, please send it along. Um, it's probably out there somewhere, but then you gotta fumble through pages and pages of instructions on how to do this. So now we're just blurred. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, since I'm doing good, how about yourself?
Doing well, doing well. So last week we were not live with you all. So if you are tuning in live, we want to thank you and appreciate you. We want you to know that we appreciate you. We were not live last week. We were traveling back and recouping and recovering. We got our production assistant moved in for her
Yeah.
freshman week at the I Love Jackson State University. And listen, if y'all don't follow the Tiger team as they're called, I know at Xavier we call them peer deans. I don't know what y'all call them at Southern. The students who volunteered during that welcome week.
I don't know. I don't
Uh,
have children going to school. These are not things I look into.
but
Sorry.
but who was y'all? What y'all do y'all first week? Y'all weren't divided
Kitty
into
that,
groups and had activities and did all this stuff?
kitty that was no, not like that.
Uh,
No.
well, nonetheless, y'all can follow the JSU Tiger team or Jack State University on the Instagram. And let me just tell you, my baby was tired this week, today as we talk to them because they have been running them. And so shout out to all of our friends, family, loved ones who have students joining the college ranks. There are many that I've seen posted moving in a dorm. So shout out to all of you. Shout out to those who are children who are matriculating, whether it's in their second, third, or even moving on into their senior year, like my son. Hey, school kicks off tomorrow. Actual class work begins. And so good luck to everybody out there. Most important thing is enjoy. Yeah, thank you. Yes, we got us a JSU Tiger. We excited.
Yes. Well, let me just say this. There were activities, but we weren't broken up into specific teams. I think those things are newer phenomena. I know at private schools they've always done some sort of, I know at Spelman, for example, they do a lot based on the dorm you live in and what have you. But I think at public schools, some of that breaking up into groups or whatever is probably newer phenomena than it was when I was in going into college. We had lots of fun, but we did not we there weren't a whole lot of group activities based on special groups or
Yeah.
not that I recall. I mean, I was in the honors dorm, so I guess we had that kind of thing, but
I don't remember my color group, but we were in color groups too. So and
definitely we
congratulations
weren't colored.
for dropping off your new Rattler today. I hope y'all have a great year as well. You guys have a whole new president and administration. Y'all got some things going on at the FAMU. That's for sure.
Looks like
What's
they're
up,
cleaning house.
Joe? What's up? What's up? All right. So we ask y'all like, follow, share, subscribe, join the conversation in the comments. Check out our website, follow us on the website, get you some merch. So y'all, it's Sunday, it's Hey Sister time. And I kind of remix. It's like why? Just why? There's so many things that are happening that we just want to say why. And so we're going to recap some things from this week. Because we talked really good about the Olympics, but then y'all started clowning. So what the hell? What the hell, parents? We felt good. I don't know why y'all needed Tom Cruise and all that stuff, but we felt good.
It was in I'm not gonna put that in Paris' fault. That was Los
Los
Angeles
Angeles.
wants to get ready. They want to bring, I mean, because they were like Hollywood and they putting all the rings on the O's and on the Hollywood sign. And it's like,
And they did do the Mission Impossible movie there in Paris, so I get the connection.
yeah, well, and it's Tom Cruise. All I know is more and more I am noticing how much work people are getting done because I was like, Tom was looking a little different. I mean, I'm just saying.
What I can do. I'm just seeing what I can do.
Yeah, that's about all I got too. Yeah, he was looking at it, but I'm not gonna put that on on Paris. I'm gonna put that on.
Well, what
the
we can
US.
put on Paris is this breaking travesty from Miss, what's her name?
Rachel Gunn, better known as Reagan. I'm just assuming that's how you pronounce it since it's
Well,
spelled
you
like
tell us
everybody.
about Reagan of Australia and how. So I saw this interview of the young man who won, I think, silver or bronze in breaking from the United States. Who was just saying, you know, all her news was breaking as they, pun intended, as they were actually competing, but all the pickup on social media was about her and her tomfoolery. And so how it diminished, you know, their extra, because they actually were really breaking, like they were really doing the thing. And as many who may not know, but if you are not following K-pop or Korean culture or Japanese culture, you probably didn't know that they for real into the breaking and hip hop culture. Like we've seen them getting even doing getting their hair, like this whole process to get their hair.
Let's not say that that's a great representation.
I ain't saying it's great. I'm just saying. Okay. I'm saying they are really into the culture. And so people were shocked and shook it that, you know, Korea and Japan were like the winning artists or competing. But if you've been following, they really into the culture. But what her name?
Reagan.
Reagan.
Gun like a gun. Reagan.
They must not have had Olympic trials. Okay, let's talk about it. Because Australia said they had Olympic trials and she won for their country. Now, pause and hold up for a minute. You mean to tell me, because Australia is still considered a continent?
Yes, it is.
And a country.
Correct.
So on the whole continent and country of Australia, she won?
Maybe she had a different routine that day. Listen, I'm not going to sit. What you're not going to do is make me sit up here and try to explain why Rachel Gunn, who has, according to this article, a PhD in cultural studies. I have questions about what cultural studies as well. You're not going to make me sit here and try to explain it. She's 36 years old, and here's what I do believe: most
Geneva ain't no way. And let me do it in the way Aretha was saying. Ain't no way. Ain't no yeah.
Yeah, that's her performance sounded like you compared to Aretha. Yeah, no, listen, mind blown, but here's what I know. I don't know a lot, but I know grand opening, grand closing, because it looks like breakdancing is not on the list of events for the Los Angeles Olympics. And they probably could actually find some great dancers who represent multiple countries in the Los Angeles area alone. But now It's over and it's done.
And they had
And
some great again, you saw some of the other performances that looked like they were worthy of Shabba-Doo and Ozone in Electric Boogaloo. Okay?
yeah.
They looked like they was worthy. But she took all the shine. And that's the travesty for me. That's the
No,
travesty.
that is. Well, that's a travesty because, so I just posted this article about Crazy Legs calling for an investigation. People like Crazy Legs, who are pioneers in the industry, some of them were split on whether or not it should have been in the Olympics in the first place. So you had some folks saying, again, it is an art, it is not a sport. Many people felt like it's about culture. And just like there was this rap was one part of hip hop, b-girling, b-boy, breaking, popping, locking, all of that stuff was also culturally relevant to the overall, what we overall call hip hop. So I think it speaks volumes that there was already sort of a divide on whether or not it should have been in the Olympics anyway. But for the people who said, yes, it should be in the Olympics, I think they really wanted it to have a greater, it continue to expand across the world.
Right.
And unfortunately, this is what we got. And this is the image we're stuck with, as well as the guy who does the commentary. It's like, buddy hot, kick and spin, hand under my chin. Like, I'm left with his voice as well, which gives me life.
Well, and I'm one of those who was of the mindset that it is an art and an art form, and it should remain as an art and art form. Because if and I think there are many sports. The Olympics could be shortened because there are many things that we're doing now that don't should not be qualified as sport. That, in my opinion. So this is just me. Because I mean, if you're going to do Olympic as breaking as a sport, then why not ballet?
I mean, any form of dance, and
Any
then if
form of
that's the
dance.
case, then singing can be an Olympic sport.
Why not? Who
And
can
then,
use those vocal runs? I mean,
right,
there's so many different things you could
or
go.
the highest octave. Yeah, I mean, so anyway, well, like I
Let's
said,
talk
great
about the
show.
other travesty, but debacle of the gymnastics floor competition. The image I will remain is the beautiful image of the three Black women on the podium. Rebecca Andrade, Simone Biles, and Jordan Chiles.
Mm-hmm.
That's the image that's going to remain with me. But the way that the entire International Olympic Committee and the judging, the fact that the judges got so many things wrong, because even the person like all of the inquiries that had to happen because you were not scoring correctly. That's problem A. We shouldn't even be having this conversation. It should have never even been a conversation about, oh, well, we're going to take your bronze medal away from you, but, oh, your inquiry didn't go in time. And then, oh, your inquiry, it was 4 seconds late. Oh, now we got all of this back and forth and getting the courts involved. You should have just said, we messed up.
Right.
And we clearly, our judges in this part of the competition clearly screwed up. We're going to own that and we're going to rectify it, and left it alone and left it completely alone. And then if you wanted to restore it to what it was before Jordan Child's inquiry ran in, you could have restored it to that. But the person who you gave a medal to, she wasn't. So hot, stinking mess.
Yeah, so and speaking of hot stinking mess, I'm just going to drop another article because according to this, this is from ABC News, head of panel who ruled against US gymnast Jordan Childs represented Romania in past cases. So of course there presents this idea of conflict of interest, which is at this point it's one of those things where you're like, y'all messed up and you should rectify it. And you should rectify it at this point by simply saying, okay, both of you are going to be our bronze medal winners. Because to your point, the image that stays embedded in our mind, the image that stays embedded in the world's collective, if you will, is the image of these three Black women, the image of them, you know, honoring the sister who won, the Afro Latina sister who won first place because they were like, she's the GOAT, like she deserved to get the honor. That's the image that so it isn't even fair to the Romanian gymnast at this point. Like you
Well,
can give her the
listen, she happy. They did a ceremony, she got it, and she thinks that Jordan should keep her medal too.
keep her medal too. That's what I'm saying.
The bottom
And
line
she
is,
thinks Jordan should keep her medal. And so what I don't like is when it's the CAS or whatever, the court of I'm gonna get the name of the panel wrong. But anyway, like why y'all digging in y'all heels? Now we gotta go to some Swiss court of arbitration or something or another. I'll get the names right in a second. But it's like y'all are literally digging in your head. So the court of arbitration for sport ruled on August 10th that the inquiry that benefited Childs had been filed after the 1 minute deadline. So then the US had a timestamp video proving that they initiated the inquiry 47 seconds after the score was posted, but they would not reconsider. CAS would not reconsider the revocation. So now US Olympics, USA Gymnastics, excuse me, is saying that, you know, it is not outside of the realm of possibility for them to now take this to, I'm looking for the official name of the court. I can't find it right now. It's in one of those things. So it's just starting to feel like this was already too much, and now we've made it. We're just putting more on top of it than it feels like it needs to be. It's just becoming worse, and it's just sad. It's like it shouldn't even be all this. Like, just let them both keep the medals and let's call it a day at this point.
well,
The Swiss Federal Tribunal, excuse me. And that even sounds, you know, Swiss Federal Tribunal. That even sounds like this has gone very far, much farther than I even knew Olympics.
and unnecessarily so.
And
Unnecessarily so.
because we're digging our heels in when we don't have
to. When we don't have to. But keep on digging here. But then that makes you wonder, why are they digging their heels in so much? Maybe it's because the image that's embedded in all of our heads. We're going to move on to the next thing, honey. Now, child, let me tell y'all something. I got this video from my cousin. You ready to get it queued up, sister, to show the peoples?
Yeah, let me get it queued up and ready to go.
Okay, we want y'all to listen, and we want y'all to look, and we want you to listen very, very closely. Okay?
All right. 1 second. Let me get it going.
Get the volume up.
If you'd like some proofs to support my hypothesis, here you go.
I don't say we avoid bathing, but we bathe very rarely.
Oh my God, I'm so happy that you're talking about this.
Yeah.
She didn't have a bath for like 5 months.
Yeah, like we didn't bathe her for the first whole part of her childhood. And like,
I don't wash my hands.
Oh, I was gonna say that too.
I don't care. I'm done. I'm done hiding it.
Why do girls have to wash it? We don't touch nothing.
We don't even touch nothing.
I get when you take a shit, wash. Like if I'm in a public restroom and there's people in the stalls, I will even after I pee go to the sink, wash the water, like pretend
Run the water.
run the water, pretend I'm washing my hands.
I remember being told that I didn't need to shower today because we had swam at the lake. I remember being told that shampoo is fine because it runs down and washes everything.
Wow.
I don't wipe my ass, so I do get yeast infections more often than most people. I stopped wiping my ass back in 2020 when COVID happened.
Yeah, we were talking about it the other day.
Washcloth. No washcloth.
Washcloth.
Oh no.
Well,
I think it's
no.
I think it's a.
No.
It's just different.
All hands on.
Do you wash your legs in the shower? No.
No.
I do it if I have like plans.
Legs, bro. I wash my whole body.
Yes, and yes. What kind of question is that? You have to. So why your legs specific?
Because I find in the white English culture, people say, oh, there's no need.
They don't wash their legs?
No.
The only thing as a man that you pay special attention to is this area and the little armpits, and that's...
Give me that.
I'm not black. I'm not gonna go wash my legs and feet.
You think that's just a black people thing?
Clearly.
God have mercy upon us.
I want to talk about two things. The first being white people hygiene, where I think growing up in a white household and like not really being parented per se in the realm of like taking care of yourself, taking care of your hair, taking care of your skin, like washing your body, like brushing your teeth, like it was never really like taught. It was kind of just like, oh, like you just observe what everybody else is doing, you just like play along rather.
That's the intercuts for me.
Oh, poor baby.
This is a very cultural debate here. Guys in locker rooms in the NFL used to have this debate all the time. You know, you some guys use bar soap, some guys use body wash. Some guys have to have a rag, you know, like one of those little square rags.
White?
Yeah, all use
Whites?
You're not clean because the whites don't use a little rag.
How are you cleaning your ass, bro?
With the bar of soap.
Do you use a washcloth?
No, me either.
I think
disgusting.
Am I scrubbing my body with a washcloth?
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
I know. I think we're.
That is like a UTI waiting to
I
happen.
think we're in the minority. I really do. No, I think we are.
People use washcloths?
I think so.
Hygiene is definitely cultural.
Okay.
If you like some proofs to support my hypothesis, here you go.
Here's the thing.
Okay, you are tuned in live to Hey Sister right now. If you don't know, you are watching Hey Sister. Not that show, but
here's the thing. So I'm thinking as I watched that again. And, well, what you say?
What you said? Here's
you
the
can't
thing.
hear me?
What thing? There ain't no thing. You said here's
No,
the thing.
there is a thing. There is a thing because as I watched it again, I thought about being in elementary school and high school when white people found out we don't necessarily wash our hair every day, right? And it's weird to me because they cringe at the idea of not washing your hair every day, but yet washing your legs is for special occasions. He said when he had plans. I'm like, what are the damn plans? What must the plans be to wash your legs? That's what's interesting to me because we wash our hair every day. And as somebody who wets and conditions hers pretty regularly, we don't wash our hair every day because of the moisture and the what have you. But every other part of our body, I mean, which makes me question, do y'all get in your ear? Better yet, do you get in your navel? Like, because if you mention your legs, that means your navel ain't seen nothing. Do you lift up under the little rolls of fat and just get up in there? Or you just but if you go to the lake and you swim in the lake with all the parasites that's in the lake and you think that's a bad, then I guess there are no, and then the energy that it takes to pretend that you're washing your hands. Heifer, just wash your hands. Like, why you gonna turn on the water? Right? Nothing but dirt. And then if you don't wash your legs, that means you don't wash between your toes. Like who? How? How do you not do these things? And
So
then what you heard us say, the UTI from using a washcloth? Oh, didn't nobody say you use a washcloth for like infinity? We also change washcloth.
we
don't
actually
just have one.
we wash the washcloths. Like we washed. Okay. So history lesson. You know, the Europeans didn't have hygienic practices. That's why, you know, they had all the bubonic plague and the this and the that and the this and the that. The Moors, okay, and y'all can look it up, Google it yourself. Just Google who brought hygiene to Europe. It was the Moors. Okay. They taught them about having separate, not using the bathroom out of the water that you drink.
Right, because that was a problem with the natives, like the Native Americans here in the United States. They were looking at them like, you getting sick because you taking a bath and pooping in the same water and then drinking.
Exactly. So the Moors from North Africa who went up in Europe and was over Europe for a while, the whole concept of bathing, of sanitation came from them from them Africans in the
But when was that? What years?
So here's the thing. You can't but you know, DNA is destiny sometimes. Because clearly
it ain't changed nothing.
It didn't stick. It didn't stick. Because like you said, when they brought their happy behinds over to the United States. And the Indians, not Indians, wrong term. The indigenous people here were looking at them like, we don't do that. We don't do that. We dig holes in the ground for our excrement and not use in the water and the excrement and then drink out that same water. We don't do that, girl. Yet.
This explains a lot.
Yeah. What COVID has to do with your behind?
Because she probably didn't believe in a vaccine, so maybe if she kept
just why? Why?
So maybe if she kept her, but didn't say she said, ma'am, I don't even believe you. I don't believe you. You have not washed you. I don't believe you, because if you've had that many yeast infections as a result of not wiping.
She said UTIs, didn't she?
No, the other lady said she has the yeast infection. The other lady said you get a UTI for using a washcloth. Anyway, if you have that much, you also you can't go to the doctor and get wrecked. But how are you solving these problems? I don't know. But you can't be going to the doctor, because I feel like the doctor would be like, baby, no, you can't come back. I guess so. Man, and then you don't have a washcloth, so you're not even cleaning it out in the shower. So what are you just
maybe she spread eagling and letting the water hit it. I don't know.
Even if you doing that.
So let's just break it down so it can forever be.
Don't feel like you
wash. Okay, so this is also what I know. Because I was going to do a post about this a while ago, but I never got to it. Now I know why the whole body deodorant is taken off.
Yeah.
It makes sense now why. Because I was like, some of y'all, it's real funky because she talking about your pits, your under boob, between your crack and your feet. if you wash them damn things, you would need, if you wash them on a regular basis with a cloth and some soap, and even if you don't use a cloth, if you use a loofah, if you use your hands and create some sort of friction, but from your head to your toe, you got to create friction with the soap. That's why when you wash your hands, they say sing the happy birthday songs like 20 seconds, you know, the whole, or back that ass up, you know, that's do the little the chorus to that. That's enough time for you to wash, because you're about using the soap, creating the friction, creating the barrier to kill the germs, and then remove them and rinse them away. So that is, yeah, girl. Lumi is out there. They got, even Secret now has a whole body deodorant. Look, so they decided to put deodorant on. What I think
deodorant on. There are people who put deodorant on without washing. There are people who put perfume on without washing. These are things that are problematic, and but this is also explains why. I don't know about y'all. So I just do not like using public restrooms, but obviously there are times when you have no choice, right? And like one of my pet peeves is going into the bathroom at an airport, but I have to go in the airport because I can't, because I really don't want to go on the plane. And you walk into a stall and it's like, why do I smell the person who just left out of here? Like, that disturbs me, because it's like, this is not from you defecating. This is you just being funky. And now I understand why, because folks are feeling like they don't have to wash. And so if you think you're going to get a UTI from using a washcloth, but you don't think you're going to get a UTI from not actually cleaning parts of your body where bacteria and germ can get into and cause actual issues, I'm just really confused, especially after you to use the bathroom. You talking about you ain't washing your hands,
but
you ain't wiping.
I mean, you're not taking the washcloth and rubbing your urethra that can even introduce anything. Like, who doing that? Ain't nobody doing that. Clearly, you don't even know how to wipe yourself properly when you use the toilet.
Front to back, right? You don't, clearly.
Front to back. Front to back. Okay.
So
this is what you do, people. You get a cloth. You will damp it. Okay. You put soap on it. And if you don't start with that, whatever you do, you wash your face first. Okay. You wash your face first. And if you're using that cloth on your face, because some of y'all don't even do your face in the shower, your dermatologist probably recommends you do it at the face bowl, because the shower water is usually too hot for your face. But you start with your face first, and then you take that towel and you do behind these ears, and then you do inside these ears. Okay, then you start.
And then you do inside of here.
You know,
after that,
you get these ears, and then you get and then you might rinse that off, so you know you got clear vision. You know, because you don't want no soap in your eye. You got clear vision.
Correct, Miss Jordan.
Yes, I use a separate. Yes, I use separate cloth for my face at the sink. Some people use a cloth.
Sister, I'm gonna stop you here, because you're gonna try to explain this process, and it's gonna be a waste of time. Because everybody who's looking at us right now, they actually do use cloths.
Send the video to your friends, and then send them this video, this part of the conversation, and just ask. Yes. Because see, then after you do the face stuff, then you start.
You should be moving down your body. It's like, it makes sense. It's not that hard.
The chest, then the arms. If you do have breasts, lift them up, get up under there, down the midsection, down the leg. Now, as far as the genitalia area, women, only the external. Don't go all up in there, because it's a self-cleaning oven. You do, and if you have a little sprayer, you can hit a few little.
Okay, ma'am, you in the hand gestures, you're killing me. Okay,
but hit a little, but mostly it's just you external, and then you go down all the way your leg, and then you lift up your foot, and you get the top of your foot between your toes, bottom of your foot. and do that rinse and repeat. Because if you rinse and repeat, you ain't gonna need no whole body deodorant, because soap is enough. Don't let that woman tell y'all soap ain't enough. She's a lie, because otherwise we would be doing something else with our hands, because people's hands get sweaty. But all you got to do with your hands is just wash it with soap and water on a regular basis. It's fine. Woo! Yeah.
Sometimes you just gotta pack your own washcloths too. But obviously that's taking people too fast and too far if they don't even want to use a washcloth. Listen, I guess people got to do what they want to do. All I know is, back to Miss Jody's point, this is why you can't eat at everybody's at the like, and this is why employers see, here we go again with diversity, equity, and inclusion. Y'all always want to gloss over these sort of things. All right. This is the reason that we don't want to participate in certain workplace activities like potluck. Because culturally, we don't rock the same. We're not all doing the same thing. You got the cat walking across the counter while you're cooking. You're handing the dog morsels of food while you're cooking. We don't do that. We're very specific about, we don't really want other humans in the kitchen while we're cooking, much less pets. And again, but this video explains so much. This is why you think that the dog who has been licking his part can lick you in the mouth and you think nothing of it, because you took a bath in the lake when you went swimming. Or that was another one I saw. The children go swimming, so that's usually their cleanliness for the day.
Yeah.
It's like, again, culturally, we take a shower after we swim, because you got to rinse all, and that's when we definitely gonna wash our hair. Got to get all that chlorine and other things.
Because we're not gonna be ashy. I mean, because we gonna have a little Earl situation go on after that. A little shea butter, a little oil, coconut, whatever. Rub it in, because we're not gonna let that chlorine dry us up and have us walking around ashy. I'm sorry, it ain't happening.
Just, we're different, and this is why we embrace diversity, equity, and inclusion. And our methods of inclusion does not include the company potluck.
Look, I love my dog like I birthed her, but she knows not to go over my mouth. Child, listen. All I'm gonna say is, this is the last thing on this. The phrase is cleanliness is next to godliness, and it is clear some of us are descendants of the Moors, others are descendants of the Neanderthals. I'm gonna leave it at that. How about that? Why? Just why? Why does the press continue to cover one candidate who's running for president who is saying some of the dumbest, stupidest, most irritating things, and they're covering it like it's normal and saying, oh, if he just stays on message, it'll be okay? No, because he's not okay. So why are we pretending? So let's talk about, hey, good looking.
Okay.
What you got cooking? This man had the audacity to fix his mouth. Now, we are women of Alpha Kappa Alpha, and we like the references to them pretty girls. This man had the audacity to say he think he's more good looking than Kamala David Harris. Mr.
Listen, okay.
I can subtract 20 years off of you and go back to when you were her age, and you still don't look as good as her. I'm sorry. Weird is an understatement. 'Cause it's
Yeah,
more
for sure. Weird is definitely an understatement, and I think that we are pushing the conversation around weird. We're using that term. He obviously doesn't like it, so let's keep calling him weird. But at the same time, it's just
what's weirder is
yeah.
all the people who are like, that's even more weird.
No, what's even more weird than that is Black people who still that we still have to have this conversation with them about purposely mispronouncing a woman's name, comparing yourself physically to a woman and saying you're much better looking than her. Saying how she took your idea. It's and
Saying that she's not smart. Let's go with that.
Suggesting that she's not smart. And so for me, I am most disgusted when I hear Black people still. I just saw something the other day when the brother he was outside of a Trump thing talking to Black Trump supporters, and he was trying to get this guy to like literally understand, like, so you're saying that before the Civil Rights Act, we were better off? Is that really what you're saying? And you can just tell this guy had like no frame of reference as to how ridiculous his comments were. And so I'm just at a place where when we allow ourselves, look, people like to say everything isn't about race. It is, though. It is because of the country we live in. In this country, everything is about race. Just like everything is about gender, just like everything is about identity, just like everything is about socioeconomics. Like, it just is. And the one thing I think I said before that Charlemagne said, Leonard said on CNN that I did agree with was, we know Trump's playbook, which is to attack someone's identity, to attack how they look physically, to attack their if they have a physical disability or different ability, to attack how they speak, things of that nature. This is what he does. And that's classic bully behavior. But it's very weird to me. It's weird to me, anybody who really sees this man and really is enamored in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Because I'm sorry, folks don't like to hear it. But if you're supporting a racist, I gotta believe that you have racist tendencies, as many of us do. But specifically, when you know he's a racist and you continue to support him. So then when I see Black folks out here acting like this behavior is not completely like, this is the disqualifier for me. You talking about you look better than a woman? What does that got to do with what we're talking about? You're running for president of the United States. What does that have to do with anything? So anytime Black people specifically want to ask about her qualifications, how she's voted, what she's done, what she's doing for Black people, what her GPA was when she was at Howard, how many credit hours did she take? Like, anytime people are getting on this, getting at that level, but you're letting stuff like this pass, I don't get it. I don't understand it. Help me, Demetria, help me.
You understand it. You exactly understand it. As you said, why is this one Olympic competition so hung up? What image is seared in your mind? You absolutely understand it. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Continuing with this man. Why? Just why? Stop the music. Stop the music. So Celine Dion did another like cease and desist. Isaac Hayes' estate is suing. The Sinead O'Connor estate is like, stop it.
You got to be rap just like Kid Rock songs. I don't understand. Why is it this hard? I'm you know there are some other country singers that you got. Just play the music of the people that you got, and you know you got them.
That seems so logical and simple, but guess what? Their music ain't that good.
It don't have to be good. It works for
Ain't
the
that good or enduring, or you want to listen to it? I mean, clearly not.
but it works for the audience that's there.
Clearly it don't, because they playing all these other people's songs, and these people like, stop playing our songs.
Well, it could work for the audience that's there.
It clearly don't work for the audience because they.
Well, it looks like Kodak Black, your favorite rapper, had.
What?
I'm being facetious, sister. Kodak Black is nobody's favorite rapper. And I don't care if he hears me say it. He's nobody's favorite rapper. And you keep making a buffoon out of yourself for Donald Trump. But then, he has colorism issues and doesn't love himself. So, but I do think that some people are just doing it because it's the grip. And it pays better than being on the side of right. It pays better because if you're with everybody else who's like, don't listen, we don't want you playing our music, and you like, yeah, I don't want you to play my music either, then you're quote unquote a sheep, I guess, and you're going with the flow. But if you're the one that's so brilliant and says, you know what, I'm just gonna make a theme, I'm gonna make an anthem for Trump as a Black rapper, then now
I think he pardoned him, right? Didn't he pardon him?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Well, Lil Wayne ain't paid his check yet. I think whatever Lil Wayne had to do, he did it the first time. He said, I ain't about to get in that mess again. I don't know. I feel like, yeah, I would agree with Lakeisha. He's having a nervous breakdown, and he's not staying on task. He's not staying on topic. But this is not new. This is all a man who told folks to drink bleach. And I'm sure the girl who hadn't wiped her butt since COVID probably tried to dilute some bleach to drink it.
Child, because see, this is again culturally. We'll every now and then take a little tiny cap full of bleach and put in our dishwater to make sure our dishes is properly, because sometimes Dawn cut through the grease, but it don't cut through enough, right? So if you done had a fish fry, or you done had you a crawfish burr or a seafood burr, if you done had a burr, you get a little bit of cap full of that with your Dawn, and in your dishwater, put a little bit of bleach to make sure your stuff is disinfected properly. That's just how we do. I don't know how y'all was raised, but that's how we was raised. And I know it ain't just lemon juice, and it ain't just vinegar. And I know the vinegar and the sodium bicarbonate makes a nice little buzzing thing, and it'll clean some stuff up. But even after that, we gonna put some
baking soda for everybody who didn't excel at chemistry.
Well, baking soda and a little vinegar, that'll get you some good scrubbing, little kind of bubble thing, and it'll do a thing. But even after that, we're gonna put a little water and bleach on it. I mean, I don't know, but what your mom taught you, girl?
Wait, what?
That's what your mom taught you.
Is that what I was taught? You said?
Yeah. What your mom and them taught you?
Well, I know it's going in and out, sister. I'm so sorry. It's going in and out.
Well, yeah. Damn camera. I told you.
No, I have a speaker now. I have a different speaker. I don't know. You get high on your pitch sometimes. Anyway, yes, I also, if it's too oily, even after, sometimes you have oily food in your Tupperware dishes or your plastic containers, I will also spray them down with disinfecting spray, and then rinse them after that, as in addition to washing them with. But we do a lot of different things. Again, we also clean our sink. Sorry, we have gone back to that topic. We also clean our sink, and we also wash our towels too. And then after a little while, your dish towel you toss it out after a while.
We
And if
don't-
you have sponges, you're supposed to do that as well.
Mhm.
Or at least, like you said, put a little vinegar, some lemon juice, and zap it in the microwave so
That's
that
how
you can kill some of the germs.
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
You know, listen, there are some folks. I watch the videos online. There are some people who do. They understand it. They also understand that you have to use salt and pepper, not just seasonings that have color in it.
Yeah.
So, you know. Anyway, but yeah, your boy is weird. And I actually saw yesterday, I saw a sign. I was like, yeah, I should get that sign because it was a Trump is weird sign. And I thought it was hilarious because you know how when you see Trump, you're like, whose yard is this? But I was getting on the freeway and I looked closer and I said, oh, it says Trump is weird.
And he is.
He is. I don't enjoy, I have not enjoyed this period. And so as I look back on my life and over the last few years, I have not enjoyed this period when it comes to politics in terms of the ugliness of it. I am excited that our sorority sister won the vice presidency, and I am excited for this what will be historic run for her to the presidency. I had one of our sorority sisters yesterday, and we had our meeting retreat, and she mentioned her mother being a Diamond member and saying this is somebody who survived Jim Crow, and she gets to vote for her sorority sister as president of the United States. There's something really beautiful and touching about that, that people like a Donald Trump will never understand because they've never had to actually experience what we've experienced, what so many of us have experienced, just trying to have the right to vote. So that's why I don't know why people take it for granted.
I don't know either. Well, I'm gonna remix this last topic because we're gonna talk about, and we're gonna drop the video in it so y'all can go watch it. There was a candid camera behind the scenes undercover operation on the co-author of Project 2025.
I think you should play it. We got enough time. Let's play it.
Okay, because let me. Do I have it pulled up? I don't think I have it pulled up.
I can pull it up. Keep talking.
So they did this behind the scenes recording, and if you ever get distracted by the stupidity, if you ever get distracted by the comments, if you ever get distracted, comments about being good looking or not being smart, or if you ever get distracted by the music, if you ever get distracted by any of that stuff, you should not lose sight or get distracted by the fact that this Project 2025 is a real thing. You should not get distracted by the fact that there is a desire to implement these policies. You should never get distracted from that fact. And so here's the video.
Into Project 2025 began 2 weeks before the meeting with Vote at a conference for religious nationalists in D.C.
The truth is, Christian nationalism is not a threat to American democracy. Christian nationalism founded American democracy.
Journalists from the Center for Climate Reporting have come posing as potential donors, looking to meet those involved in Project 2025. They're not hard to find. The Heritage Foundation, the group running the project, are here. So is Vote's think tank. We make the acquaintance of Mika Meadowcroft, an author on Project 2025 and a close aide to Vote. He tells us that Vote is running the secretive second phase of Project 2025.
The second phase after the book came out was to break down actual sort of policy packets and executive orders and agenda items, things like that. That's been supervised largely by us.
The first phase of Project 2025 was a 922-page policy book published openly. The second phase is a comprehensive, concrete transition plan for each federal agency. These much more detailed plans are confidential.
Because obviously you want as little of it to be FOIA-able, if you're familiar with the FOIA process, as possible.
Freedom of Information Act, yeah.
The Freedom of Information Act allows the public to request government communications, but Meadowcroft reveals they plan to avoid these rules.
Yeah, the goal is, familiarize all the transition team people with these plans, but you don't actually send them to their work emails, because then, you could just give the handbooks to everyone. You're like, this is the game plan for the admin.
Yeah.
If the press knows that that's what you're doing, then they're going to immediately just say, I request all of your emails from Heritage.
Okay.
You
right.
Worker.
I see.
So we'll see.
Interesting.
Meadowcroft offers to set up a meeting with his boss, Russ Vogt.
You could put me in touch with somebody who looks after his diary or whatever.
Yes, I can put you in touch with his schedule. Yeah.
Amazing.
So,
great.
So just tell me when to do that.
We want to meet the man writing the game plan for Trump's second administration. Vogt believes that in his first term, Trump's agenda was frustrated by what he calls the deep state. So Vogt is planning a radical centralization of government power under the president, firing civil servants and ending the independence of agencies like the FBI and DOJ.
80% of my time is working on the plans of what's necessary to take control of these bureaucracies. And we are working doggedly on that, whether it's destroying their agency's notion of independence. They're independent from the president.
Vogt has also been preparing documents based on fringe legal theories, arguing the president has the power to use the military against protesters.
George Floyd obviously was not about race. It was about destabilizing the Trump administration. Right. We put out, for instance, a 50-page paper designed for lawyers to know that the president has, the ability both along the border and elsewhere to maintain law and order with the military. And that's something that, it's going to be important for him to remember and his lawyer.
All right. We can put the rest of it in the chat.
So all I say is, don't get distracted. This is the real game plan. And what's been published, trust me, as they said, there's other things that's not being published. That is what you are fighting against. And don't think that your school board, that your sheriffs, that your city councilmen, your county council people, all of the positions up and through the ballot and where they align themselves, do not be fooled in thinking that if they're aligned with this in any way, shape, or form, the way you live your life every day is drastically going to be impacted. And as we said, they've already started implementing some of this stuff. If you Louisiana with the 10 Commandments in the classroom, if you talk about some of the things and taking over colleges and universities, the erasures of DEI. And then you always got to ask yourself, because they always talk about not having government in their life, but they want to be so entrenched in the government. What's the profit motive? Follow the money. Follow the money. Follow the money. They want to dismantle these agencies, so they take over the agencies. So then who is getting paid with your federal tax dollars? Follow the money. Follow the money. So I don't know what else to say. Don't.
I think the only thing to say is, we can, like you said, we can get entrenched in conversation about Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. But this conversation this Project 2025 is so much bigger than that. Yeah. What I find very interesting is that and call me a conspiracy theorist, but just as a young white man could scale a building with an AR-15 at a rally for a presidential candidate, it's interesting that this group of reporters who were posing as donors got the unfettered access that they got. Because if they had been actual reporters but were Black, that conversation would have never happened. And so it's always interesting, again, that people want to say it's not about race. It's never about race. But yet, how is it that these folks were even able to have that level of access? You didn't know them from Adam, you know. But again, it does prove that you know, they obviously had the right complexion. They could pretend to have the money, and by just doing those two things, they got all this information. So it's not about just these two candidates who are running for presidential office. It is about, like you said, the entrenched plan. As Leslie said, the takeover from the bottom up. It's going bottom up, side to side, in every level of government, unless we the people stop it. And if we keep sitting back, like in The Handmaid's Tale, you will look up one day and find that your rights were eroded because you thought it was a one-off, or it was not likely to happen, or it wasn't a big deal. And it is. It is absolutely a big deal.
A very, very big deal. Very big deal. Well, we hit our hour, sister, already. So, you know, tonight we were like, why? And just why?
Yeah.
So,
well, I will say one positive note. Let's end on a positive note. A John Lewis statue. I did want to acknowledge this. A John Lewis statue will replace a former Confederate monument in Decatur, Georgia. And so as this article from NPR states, its arrival comes about 4 years after Decatur officials removed a 30-foot tall obelisk erected by the Daughters of the Confederacy in 1908. Again, that people like to tell these stories about these Confederate monuments, about how they were erected and when they were erected. The Confederate the Civil War ended in 1865. Okay. So when you have people saying that, oh, this is just history. This is just history. Not when you wait until 1908 to erect a statue. It wasn't about history. It is about a constant reminder of your place in society, and who is to rule, and who is to lead, and who is to govern. And I just I think it is this is what we need to be doing. This is what we need to be requesting. Every time someone objects to taking down a Confederate monument or changing the name of a street or a school, then we need to just say, well then, hey, 1 for 1. You got one, I want one. So I'm excited about this statue going up in Decatur, and John Lewis was also deserving of commemoration.
Absolutely. Well, with that being said, he continued to fight for justice, and we need to not grow weary in our laboring for the same fight for justice, equity, for equality for us all, and understand our power as we continue to move forward. And the Democratic National Committee convention starts on tomorrow. So stay tuned and stay active. And we signing off for the night. Bye.
Good night.